Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannapadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Welcome everyone. So today we are starting a new journey. All of us, we all are on the same boat. The only thing is that the boat is not seen. It's a virtual boat. And we all are having the same destination. So traditionally, what happens is that this journey was happening in Gurukulas, where gurus were staying and guiding the students, and students were traveling all the way to the Gurukulas and stay with the gurus, do the Sushrusha. Sushrusha means Shrotum Ichha Sushrusha, which means doing whatever the guru says and then slowly acquiring the knowledge. So this was the traditional setup. But over the time, because of many reasons, we all know the reasons, now we don't find Gurukulas in most of the places. Even in main cities of India also, you have very less Gurukulas nowadays. Even though if you compare with a decade ago, we have more Gurukulas now, but even though they are not enough, because a Gurukula can accommodate around 10 to 20 people, if that is a smaller one. Even though if it is a bigger one, you will have 60, 70 people who can be accommodated there. But in this new age where we all want to be oriented, we all want to know how our ancestors were living, we all want to know how were they very harmonious, and they were really very inspirations were setted. Like they were setting the goals, very high goals. How would we know this? Whenever we visit a ancient monument or a very old temple, it will be an enchanting inspiration for us. We'll just see those pillars, those walls, the gopurams, the garbhagriha, the aradhana, and we suddenly go back to those centuries old tradition, and we are inspired. We all see those monuments and feel, how did our ancestors do this? How could they achieve? And one key which was used by all of our ancestors is called as anushtanam. So the etymology of the word anushtanam is anutishtati tyanushtanam, which means who is traveling and experiencing the journey. They were experiencing some journey. And generally we feel that journeys are outward. We go somewhere else. For example, I go from Hyderabad to Kashi. I go from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. I go Hyderabad to Orissa, somewhere. But this journey is not outward. This was an inward journey. So the potential of a human being is not outward. When you conquer yourself, when you understand yourself, when you realize yourself, that is that yourself who can actually achieve anything. So they were actually masters of inward journey. They discovered their true self and slowly they unwrapped those inherent secrets, because you don't know them. Generally, people don't know them. So that is why those are secrets. You will only know when you actually experience them. Okay. So those things were actually enabling them to not only construct great monuments, they didn't only construct great monuments, but also they developed a great knowledge base for us. They have many strategies, they have knowledge structures, frameworks, okay, solutions. Many things are waiting for us. We are still not even at the entrance of that great treasure. So this course might be one of those stepping stones towards those well-maintained secrets or solutions for our life. So the first stepping stone would be the Sandhyavandanam. Okay, I will slowly guide you through what is that knowledge base we have and who created that. Okay, so nowadays we hear the word IKS. Okay, whoever is what you say active on social media, you might be hearing the word IKS. So the abbreviation for that is Indic Knowledge Studies, which means that the knowledge which was originated in India, not India is not the India what we are thinking right now. India is Bharatavarsha, which started from what you say. You can envision that it is from Afghanistan till Indonesia. Okay, so the downwards you have till Sri Lanka and other dweepas also. So all this thing is called as Bharatavarsha. And the knowledge which was originated in this land is called as Indic knowledge studies. And the Indian word for that would be Vedas and Shastras. So we will be just focusing on the first part, the Vedas. Before we even understand what is Vedas, we need to understand what is the knowledge source for all these knowledge streams. I call them streams because they are flowing. They are flowing right now also. Okay. So mainly we have three kinds of sources who are called Siddha, Sadhaka, and Pamara. So these are the most prominent knowledge sources we have. So Siddhas, we need to understand these Siddhas. So there are many words which we can use for this concept, like Rishi, Muni, Acharya. All these words, all these terms are applicable for Siddhas. Who are these Siddhas? Siddhas are those people who understood the creation. We all know a word karma. Whoever is an astika. Astika means a person who believes in asti paro lokaha is astika. Asti paro lokaha means there is another world, there is another plane where we can experience other than this world. To keep it very simple, we can understand that Astikas believe in Vedas. They follow whatever is told in Vedas. They are called as Astikas. Okay. So now these rishis, they understood something called the game of karma. For example, if I ask, why are we all born as human beings? Why are we not ants? Why are we not dogs in this birth? Okay. You might be answering with many materialistic causes, but at the end, there will be no answer for that parampara, for that long reasoning. It should end somewhere. And you might be saying, I don't know. If you materialistically see this birth, you might be not knowing why are we born as human beings. But there is an answer in the Shastras. It is called as karma. According to the karma, according to your previous birth's karma, you are now born as a human being. Okay. So this karma is not a very simple thing to understand, because that is the root of all creation. So these rishis or siddhas contemplated upon the creation, contemplated upon the cause of creation, contemplated upon the inherent cause of everything, whatever we see. Because of their intense tapasya, they found out that there is one conscious being behind all these creation. And they named them as Param Brahma. Brahma or Param Brahma, Parabrahma. And they became one with him. So in any upasana, in any, what you say, devotional path, the goal is upasya tadatmyata, which means that you become one with him. For example, you just assume that you are now getting trained under a coach. The coach might be Virendra Sehwag. Just take him as an example. If you are getting coached under Virendra Sehwag, if you are a very small boy and you are very much interested in becoming a very good batsman, opener like him, you would slowly become him. You would be thinking like him. You would be acting like him. You would be moving like him. You would be eating like him. If you compare the shots, if you compare the timing and all those things, slowly, slowly you become him. So while you are trained under one particular coach, your goal is to get all that vidya, all the technique that particular coach has. So this is an example from our day-to-day life. But in an upasana, when you are doing the upasana of a particular devata, becoming like him, like the devata, becoming one with the devata, when you are submitting everything you have, you become him. Okay. For example, there is another very interesting example. You just assume that you are working under a very big businessman. Okay, very big. He's like multi-crorepati. He's operating from different continents. Okay, you're totally submitting yourself to him. You are a PS, personal secretary to him. You're totally submitting everything to him. Slowly, what happens? He also sees you as a part of himself. When you are threatened by somebody, he feels that he is also threatened by somebody. When you are in depression, he might also feel the same emotion, and he will be helping you all together. All his virtues becomes yours. Sometimes all his negativities are also attached to you. This scenario we find in our day-to-day life. There are many, many examples for these kinds of situations also. Okay, what I wanted to say is that when you submit yourself totally to one energy source, you become that. And our rishis, our siddhas, they have envisioned, they have submitted, they have become that Parabrahma. And when you are in that state, when the siddhas are in that state, they now understood the inherent concept of creation, the inherent concept of life, which is flowing everywhere. And the mantras, which we are going to learn hereafter, are actually seen by them. You might be wondering how anyone can see mantra. Because for you, for me, for anyone, in the initial stages, mantras are just sounds. You can hear mantras or you can write mantras. How can you see mantras? Like I am seeing Omkarji, like I am seeing Naren, like I am seeing our Revanth Ghanapathi Guruji. How can I see mantras? But we need to understand that this indriya or this eye is called as charma chakshu. Okay. this chakshu or this eye has some limitations. According to the science also, there are only some light waves that this indriya can grasp. And there are only some sound waves that we can understand. When we go out into the forest, actually there are many other lights, there are many other sounds we don't cognize because we are not enabled to do that. We are not trained to do that. Okay. But when you have the sadhana, when you are in the tapasya, when you are aligned with the supreme source of energy, nothing is impossible. In that state, the conscious mantras are also conscious. Consciousness means they act, they react, they converse, they make something happen. The energy is flowing everywhere. So in that state, our rishis understood the essence of mantras. And that is why they are called as mantra drashtas. In that state, when they have cognized those mantras, they have comprehended it and they presented them as it is for our benefit. And that functionality is called as loka sangraha, because they know that we all are going to be born hereafter, and who might not have the privilege to do all the tapasya, and they might not even know what is a tapasya, what is tapasya. They might not even know how to go inward. So we have to help them because they are like us, just like us. When you see a small boy crying, you go near him and help him. In the same way, our rishis wanted to help us. Hence, they have created a very great system which is called as Gurukula Vyavastha. In this Gurukula system, there is something called Adhyayana Paddhati. They have created everything. There are many, many frameworks installed there. They are very firm. They are not confusing. They are very decisive. Okay. So in those frameworks, for many years, like thousands of years, the same knowledge flowed through all our ancestors' mind. Now it's our time to at least smell it, to at least cognize a little bit of it. If we are very lucky, we might be lucky. We are lucky. Otherwise, we would not have this congregation here. I hope you will all understand, you will all experience the same essence of those mantras. Okay, there are other knowledge sources also, like sadhaka and pamara. We all come under the pamara kind. We also have some knowledge. You can ask me my phone number, I will let you know. That is my knowledge. You can ask me my name, I can tell you that. That is my level of knowledge I have. You can ask me how to operate an iPhone or a laptop or how to bargain. Okay, there are some knowledge systems I too have. I also have my own thought model. So I am also a knowledge source. In the same way, there are some sadhakas. They are not siddhas. They are in the sadhaka level where they sensed the utmost supreme energy, but they are not totally aligned with it. So we also have some knowledge systems coming from there. Okay, I will not take much of your time. I will just go into the main topic, which is called as Apaurusheya. So in this course, you will be learning many, many new terms. To just remember those terms, try to converse, try to exchange, share the knowledge which you are getting in this class with your better halves, with your children, with your friends, so that it will be registered in your mind too. So the word is Apaurusheya. Paurusheya means the knowledge source or the knowledge which is created by an individual who is under the influence of karma. This might be a very long sentence for you. I will break it down again for you. So there are many people who are not in the influence of karma. What is this karma? So the better words or the popular words for karma is papa and punya. People who are influenced by papa and punya actually want something. They are always wanting something because they don't have something. A person who is not complete wants to complete himself. So that is the simplest behavior of an individual who is under the influence of karma. And there are other people, other rishis, munis, who are not in that influence of karma. Okay. So the knowledge which originated from those people is called as apaurushaya. And the knowledge which originated from the people who are under the influence of karma is called as paurushaya. So here, when a person or a siddha is in the state of drashta, he is now seeing and understanding Veda. And that is also called as shruti, one which is heard. You are not creating anything. You cannot create rain. You cannot create the bloom of a flower. You cannot create the experience. Any experience, whatever you are having, you cannot create it. You can only experience it. You can only understand it. You can only cognize it. You can only memorize it. But you cannot create it. There are some things which we cannot create. So that is why they have given the word Shruti. They have just heard it as it is. We can't hear many things. Only those drashtas can hear some things. And the name given to them is Veda, Shruti, Amnaya, Agama. And there are many, many other names according to the situation. So this is one stream, very important one. And the other stream where a person is in the influence of karma at the time of creating that knowledge source. The same rishi might be a drashta of one particular suktam or one particular mantra in a Veda, and that same rishi can also be the author of a Purana, a Shastra, or a Stotra, or a Bhashya, or anything. Just like I can become a father, I can just switch my role to a teacher. I can be both. The level of understanding, maturity, everything changes. So when I am under the influence of karma, when I am in the sadhaka level, I might be attributing some knowledge sources to myself. For example, if I ask who wrote Purana, who wrote the Ashtadasha Puranas, can anyone answer it?
Vedavyasa.
Very good. Vedavyasa. In the same way, if I ask who wrote Yoga Shastra, Yoga Sutra,
Patanjali.
Patanjali Maharshi, very nice. Who authored Lalita Sahasranamam?
Bhaskara Raya. No.
Vag-
No. I agree. No, not even Hayagriva. Hayagriva gave it to someone else. So Lalita gave it to Hayagriva.
So first of all,
Vagdevata Rishi. Vagdevata.
so there are many sources. See.
Correct.
So whenever you are attributing some knowledge piece to one individual, then it will become Paurushaya. Okay. So these are the very fundamental classifications of knowledge systems we have. Okay. So I will stop my introduction here. The orientation is still there. So what are we going to do in this course? We are going to learn Veda mantras. And the title of the course itself is Veda mantra. There is no ambiguity. We are going to teach you Veda mantras. When you are learning the mantra, try to sit towards east, facing east or facing north direction. try to have the vesti. It can be cotton, silk, anything. Okay. So we'll start with a traditional, prayer, and then enter into the Adhyayanam. And for this course, we have our Guruji, Shri Gunturu Revanth Ghanapathi Mahodaya. So he is a very well-trained Krishna Yajurveda scholar who is trained in Veda Bhavan, Bhagyanagar. Bhagyanagar is the other word for Hyderabad. So Veda Bhavan is a very prestigious school. He is trained under Venkatram Ghanapathi Mahamahopadhyaya Venkatram Ghanapathigal. He is also having the knowledge of Lakshanam. Lakshanam means definition. Definition of what? When two sounds are having a conjunction, how does that sound react? Okay. Essentially, what are we learning? We are learning some sounds, okay, in a rhythmic way. So this rhythm can be called as swara. And these words not only have meanings which we understand, but also we have to understand that these sounds are conscious. Conscious in the sense, just like I converse with you and you react, you converse with me and I react. In the same way, the mantras also react. How? Because they are conscious. We might be feeling that my words are not conscious, but our words are also conscious. If you subtly understand, why am I telling that my words are also conscious? Because those are uttered by a conscious being. So indirectly, our words, our sentences are also conscious. That is why in the court of law, all our statements are valid. All our witness stands very much valid. And it is having a lot of weightage also. As these mantras are directly from the creator, those are more valuable, having a lot of weightage. And they can be used not only for peripheral interactions, but also adhyatmika interactions. Adhyatmika, the word given in English is spiritual, but I don't like to utter that word. We don't understand what is a spirit. The definition for spirit is very limited. But Atma, the word Atma, Adhyatma, is very broad. So it is also related to us. For them, spirit is outside. So there are many differences. So we'll try to only use traditional words. Okay. So for understanding and getting trained in these kinds of mantras, there are certain rules that we have to follow. So these are very small rules which I have enumerated here. As we are starting with Sandhyavandanam, we should also talk about why Sandhyavandanam. You might be asking, some of you have already mastered Sandhyavandanam. We all are doing Sandhyavandanam. Why do you want us to learn Sandhyavandanam again? So, number one, I don't know personally how you were initiated those mantras. The initiation process is very, very important. Here, it is done all traditionally, hence, you might be having better effect, number one. Number two, you might be initiated in the good process, but you might be losing the knowledge of swara, the rhythm sometime. Hence, again, getting trained is good, and we have a very, very good teacher in front of us. So we'll utilize his service, his time, and we'll be, enlightened in that process. And Sandhyavandanam is also called as Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma means you should not leave it anytime in your life. Why? Because it is orienting you to yourself. Generally, we all are outward. we relate ourselves with our home. We relate ourselves to our body. Body is actually an outer expression of yourself. It is an outer expression of yourself. It is not you totally. Your nose is not totally you. You say that I am using my hand to use that instrument. So in those expressions itself, we should understand that hand is not you. Hand is used by you. This body is used by you. And we also relate with more external things like a house and many other things. The enumeration can't stop here. But the Sandhyavandanam is daily reorienting yourself towards yourself. How? What is the crux of Sandhyavandanam? So many think that Gayatri Japam is the crux of Sandhyavandanam. Gayatri Mantram is an important element, part of Sandhyavandanam, but the main function for which we all do Sandhyavandanam is not Gayatri Japam, but there is another thing called Asavadityo Brahmeti Brahmaiva Sanu Brahma Pyeti Ya Evam Veda Asavadityo Brahma Udyantamastayyantam Adityam Abhidhyayan. So there is one mantra. So what do we do while doing that, uttering that? We take some water, okay, and we are rotating that water in a circular format around you. Okay, why should you do that? It is a resemblance. It is an upasana. In upasana, what happens? We are doing some similar kriya, which is related to the main essence. Okay, what is the main essence of Sandhyavandanam? The meaning of Gayatri Mantra is the main essence. What is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra? The meaning is that, hey creator, there is one creator. There is only one creator. He is omnipresent. Omnipresent means he is everywhere and he is having all the strength. Sarva Shaktiman. So you cannot assume a single function which can't be completed by him. Everything, whatever we are doing right now, the inception of Vedamantram course is also a small part of his larger Sankalpa. Otherwise, we will not meet like this. Okay. So, where is he resided? While Upanayanam itself, I hope you all have cognized that a word is continuously used, which is Savita, Savitru, Savitru Devata. Savitru Devata means the Aditya, the sun. So he is in circular form. We can only observe the circular format of Aditya. And he is seen every day. Daily we see him. And he is called as Savitru Devata. And the Upasana tells that the creator is inherently inside that circular format. Which doesn't mean that he is not there everywhere. He is also there everywhere. But he is more reflected, more observable in that Savitru Mandalam. Just like a reflection in a mirror is captured more efficiently than a shining floor. A floor can also reflect a little bit of light. There are many other materials which reflect light, but a mirror captures that light very efficiently and reflects very nicely. In the same way, even though the Paramatma, the creator, the omnipresent conscious, supreme conscious being is there everywhere, but he can be very nicely captured and reflected and observable inside the Savitru Mandala, and that Savitru Mandala Antargata Paramatma is the same who is residing in this Varuna Mandala is the crux of Sandhyavandanam. So this is the state of mind which our rishis were continuously experiencing. I am the same. Tat Tvamasi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat is that supreme energy which created everything. Tvam is you. Asi means you are that. Tat Tvam Asi. You are the same is the meaning of that Mahavakya. And this state of mind should be continued in the japa, till japa. So what the japa is telling us to do, it is enabling us to pray that supreme being to activate our mind in such a way that we cognize that ultimate reality. There is no other reality than this. But to cognize that, you need to activate your mind. And it can't be happening with what you say, any mundane functionalities. For example, if I need to activate or open a particular app, I should just click on that icon. Okay, this function is enabling me to open that particular app, but you don't have those kinds of buttons. Just you click it and it will open it. No, you need to relate with that supreme energy through meditation. And before meditation, Asavadityo is the meditation. Udyantam Astayantam, the mantra you will be learning hereafter, is the meditation, guided meditation statement. Okay, before that, you need to purify your body and the other realms of yourself. At least there are 3 realms of yourself: your body, your manas, and there is some other thing called as Karana Sharira. You need to cleanse it. It is called as the prokshana, and then you do that meditation. Okay. Generally, whenever we do Sandhyavandana, it is a very mechanical thing that we pour water around us, and our mothers and others scold us, why are you pouring water all the place? Can't you do Sandhyavandanam without pouring water? And many other scoldings, even beatings for small kids happen. But we should just ignore it. The actual essence is this: you are entering into the meditative zone, and you need to continue that and take the blessings of the Savitru Devata by doing the Gayatri Japa and the other, what you say, I don't use the word ritual. Ritual is a very lower word for this. Karma. There are other karma angas there. There are other functionalities that we have to perform. Okay. Here ends my small orientation to you. And I welcome all of you to this larger family called Sri Kameshwari Foundation. And I feel blessed to have all of you here. Om Pashekshuchapau Madhupurnapatram Mahankusham Pushpasharam Varancha Karair Arunam Trinetram Kameshwarim Nityamaham Bhajami. Namasabhai. Thank you very much, Rama.